What's up, world? Welcome to episode 2 of the Kieran Company podcast. This week, I'm joined by my cousins Tomas and David, and we talk about what we believe defines intelligence and what makes a person intelligent. We had a great discussion, and we hope you enjoy.
For good.
They're not powers, it's a deformity.
No, man.
It's a mental illness.
That's completely incorrect. A sociopath is very, very intelligent. And so is a narcissist.
Why is it?
I don't think-
Why is a sociopath?
I don't think a sociopath
that's
by
study-
character. I don't think as a
Why-
generalization
that's
all sociopaths.
That's studies saying
What's-
sociopaths are generally highly intelligent and observant.
What study?
That's why they can do the things that they do.
They're very
and go
manipulative.
unnoticed.
They're
intelligent. That's a form of intelligence, being manipulative. That's a
they're
lawyer.
intelligent at manipulating people.
That's a lawyer. Lawyers are the most intelligent people on the planet. If you can think about this is why a lawyer is so intelligent. If you can believe something and a lawyer can talk you out of your own beliefs and getting you to believe something else, are you a fucking retard? Or is a lawyer
they're
a genius?
just a marketer of ideology.
Yeah, but that's genius. You
Yeah.
can convince people of anything. Like these people, lawyers get literal fucking people that rape kids and cut them up and serve them to
Yeah,
people
but that's not
off.
necessarily intelligence by using someone's emotions.
Manipulation is intelligence.
No,
It
it's
takes
not
an
that-
intelligent person to observe that.
No.
There's more to it. There's more to it than just spinning words. It's observing every little thing that they do. A tendency. It's observing that someone goes like this on their face every once in a while, or goes like this, and you understand why they do that, and then you play it against them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. At the end of the day, you're doing it to play it against them, and that's wrong. That's not intelligence.
It is. It's just
it's
an
immoral.
ugly form of intelligence.
It's immoral.
It's an ugly form of intelligence, but it's intelligent nonetheless.
I mean,
There's types of intelligence. That's like a manipulative intelligence.
Yeah,
You could be emotionally intelligent, fucking mathematically intelligent, or you could be
what kind of
sociologically.
person is smarter? Someone who could read a book, like a full fucking like hard ass book that's like 500 pages, if they could read it in 2 days, and someone who can barely read but they can speak a lot better than the other person. Who's more intelligent?
It's irrelevant.
It's not. It's a different
you're
form of
getting
intelligence.
speaking. Yeah, exactly.
That's the same thing as what I'm saying.
No, you just said who's more intelligent, and then said it's a different form of intelligence.
Yeah, but you could still ratio like who's better.
At what? How do you define
Well, that's
intelligence?
what he's saying.
What are you saying is defining of intelligence? You're saying, someone can read well or speak well.
I think
Who's more intelligent?
the ultimate intelligence is someone who could out-argue themselves for both sides of the argument.
you're a fucking moron. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No, I see that.
That's intelligence.
No, I see that.
Intelligence.
No,
is
you-
be able to
intelligence
beat
means
yourself.
You're not arguing with yourself.
No,
Intelligent
you
is being
never beat
checkmated.
yourself. You never win or you never lose against yourself.
Yeah. Intelligence is basically measuring, saying that an intelligent person would be able to have an argument.
No.
Would be able
No,
to have
they
an
would be able
argument.
to look at an argument and win both
No,
sides.
it has nothing to do
But not
with
against
Or could
yourself.
win against.
Against
No, I
yourself.
didn't mean
Yeah.
against like.
Like you put
physically
yourself in front of a jury with a single argument and you win either way, regardless of what side
If they
play
say
on.
vote, if you're on Harvey Weinstein's
Yeah, but
side or
you're-
you're against him, you can
Yeah,
play
but
both
that's
sides.
your
Okay, let's
intelligence.
smoke this and go outside. We'll do this.
No, intelligence is much bigger than just arguments. Arguments is fucking.
It's belief.
No, intelligence.
But you're doing it from like a university point of view. Obviously,
I haven't even said anything. You just keep fucking
Sorry.
talking nonsense.
No.
Oh shit.
Intelligence is beating yourself at Monopoly. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to situations. It's to be able to use what you've learned and apply it in new ways as you grow and adapt. Yeah, but you're strictly talking about arguments and manipulating people to do what you want.
I'm not talking about that, for example. I'm saying that as in that's a form of intelligence.
I think intelligence
it is, yes.
is the ability to adapt.
I think intelligence in our world.
Intelligence is to come out. Intelligence is to face a brand new situation that you've never encountered before, but using skills that you've learned in other situations and applying those concepts to this new situation and overachieving it. Like that intelligence is being able to come to a new, like you've never encountered this before, but you're able to fucking overcome it some way.
It's
Because
the
you
ultimate
have
form of
because
adaptation.
you've acquired wisdom from other things, and this is a brand new situation.
I think, what you were saying is the person who's most intelligent is the one who can argue best. I think I would say more on his side, where the person who's most intelligent is whoever is most adaptable.
Yeah,
Take it
because
even
it's not
from an
just arguments. It's
take it from an evolutionary standpoint.
math.
Whoever survives the longest because they're able to adapt to the environment is the most intelligent. Because they may at some point they'll be the only one left.
You guys are just taking the fact that I said argument. Like, forget that I said.
No, but
argument.
you're talking about social. You're
arguments.
talking about social cues. Take it past social. Like,
Yeah,
I'm talking about intelligence as in a societal intelligence, a person, like an average person. Like, if you went up to any one of us on the street and you could tell if someone's intelligent or not.
Yeah, but you're talking about. Just
I think you're
trickery.
talking about like
No, I'm talking about. I'm
Wit.
talking
You're talking about wit.
For me to determine if someone has intelligence or not is if you could give them some sort of a topic that has two very conflicting sides. That there's no middle ground. It's one or the other, and they can speak intelligently on both behalves. They can see both sides.
It's not intelligence.
Yeah, it is.
persuasive.
You're talking about.
Because an intelligent person is someone who has no bias. So, the biggest problem with the world today
Well, not
is everyone has an
necessarily, because
opinion.
some topics have right and wrong. So
Well,
if you're
hold on.
talking
No,
about it in,
hold on.
Look at
what
it
kind of a
from
topic-
look at if you said abortion.
Yeah,
an
but it doesn't
intelligent
take intelligence to form opinions. Abortion is an opinionated topic.
an intelligent person would be able to see both sides.
Yeah, you can see
Without
both
having
sides.
a biased
But that's
opinion.
also someone who's just fucking.
It's not.
Yes.
It's
No,
but
okay, but-
argue for both sides.
Okay, but what
that's
you're
why I say
saying-
argument. They can talk, they can research, and they can understand both
No,
sides.
intelligence. Yeah, but abortion is not a
Okay.
topic where you need intelligence.
But hold on.
It's a matter
course
of
it is.
opinion. It's
Hold
a matter
on,
of
hold
opinion.
on, hold
It's
on.
not.
Hold on,
It's
hold on.
intelligence.
Is your
Because if they
argument-
pass a law, that you have to make an intelligent choice on which law they're going to go for. Because if it comes down to a vote, it's either or. So you have to be intelligent enough to think okay, getting abortions are wrong, but however, for the betterment of the people, not getting them is better.
But what
That's
you're
how you have.
saying-
That's an intelligent person. Intelligent person can take both sides and see which better is overall better for the community, not forming a biased opinion. If you have an issue with someone that has an abortion, you have a biased opinion. Therefore, you're not intelligent.
But what,
You let your own self feelings interfere with thought. You can't have feelings when you argue. You can't.
yeah, but
Because you have to do it from an intelligent point of view by seeing both sides and being like, this is what's better for everyone.
So at the end of the day, what you're saying is someone who's intelligent who's unbiased.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
I
to
think
say.
most people,
That's how you're like. That's how
Most-
we were talking about.
That's what we were
What do
saying.
you think? What's your definition of intelligence?
What you were
You're like,
arguing was
someone who can
communication
convince
over
you that they're
understanding.
both
We were
wrong.
arguing understanding is what makes you most intelligent, like adaptability and the understanding of both. And you were saying whoever can communicate it better. And I don't agree with
I'm
someone
not-
who's better
I'm
at
not saying-
communicating,
I'm saying
because you said
communicating.
who could look at both arguments and argue each side better.
But okay, forget saying argument. It's about someone being able to understand both sides.
Yeah, understanding.
Okay, if you wanted to test how smart they were or their intelligent level, you put them in some sort of a debate with each side, and they argue each side. And I bet you a true intelligent person would win both arguments.
But to measure intelligence is not necessarily to put someone in debate. Yeah, it takes intelligence to outwit your opponent, but at the end of the day, it's just outwitting someone. It's using their words and finding little fallacies and twisting them for your own point. I would say a true test of intelligence is to put them in a situation that they have to overcome a challenge individually.
Yeah, because
But
in
I
that
think that-
situation you could
Because
have a
then
little
it's just-
slip
if
up
you- if
and
you're
they call
comparing-
you
Yeah,
out.
if you're comparing yourself
No,
to someone else, and
an
it doesn't show intelligence.
overall
It just shows you're more
intelligence is like
intelligent than your opponent.
I think overall intelligence sees the grander picture.
I think right now, kind of, what is also playing into this is you're biased because you're a very good, you're very good at that. You're very good at swaying people to your opinion. So you're using that as a bias in your argument to make it. You're making yourself seem more intelligent by saying that. So now we're just going back to the fact that he's a
Ultimate
narcissist.
intelligence.
He just made a whole philosophical argument based on the fact that he's a narcissist.
Yeah, but it's very easy to pick up on.
No, he went on for like 15 minutes disagreeing with us just because he wanted to make people that are more manipulative seem more intelligent.
But that's no, because you guys are misconstruing and taking like one thing that I said and making it the literal. Like calcium is in milk, so milk is good. That's not true.
Yeah, but now you're just talking.
I think overall, if I were to speak to an intelligent person, okay, this is how I view intelligence, and this is not like from any studies or anything. For me, I would view someone that's intelligent that you can pretty much talk about anything with, and they don't get offended, and they can just speak to any point.
Yeah,
because I think that's unbiased. I think
that's open-minded. Someone who's open-minded.
Yeah.
Someone can be open-minded.
But isn't that intelligence?
Not necessarily.
I think intelligent people are very open-minded.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but intelligence is not just... But that's not really adapting to situations. Like
adapting has nothing to do with being intelligent.
Yeah, it did. Because it's the free... Like, you have the
if you're,
free thinking
but if you're talking from a point of view, if you're stranded in the woods and you've got nothing with you, a dumb person would fucking probably die, and an intelligent person would realize, okay, I need food, shelter, water.
It's not
because they would adapt.
It's not just
said that.
Yeah, but it's not really adapting.
It's adapting and overcoming. Like adapting.
Exactly. That's a situation where you don't need high intelligence. Duh. But it's adapting at the same high level of fixing the society.
But being open,
this whole society right now is stranded in the woods, and the intelligent person is going to develop the next fucking cure.
Being open-minded does not
exactly. That's what they're working on.
You have the ability to adapt to situations. It just means you're fucking open to anything. You could be a fucking hillbilly. Like,
but your mind...
yeah, that makes sense.
No, but
that makes sense too.
No, what I'm
intelligent.
It doesn't mean you're fucking intelligent.
No, what I'm saying is
I don't rule nothing out.
You're willing to. Your adaptability is sometimes free will, and it's sometimes without free will. Like in that situation, it's having the free choice of like adapting your mind to a new idea.
This would be
and choosing whether to understand both sides and then form an opinion on that new. Like you're
that's what an ultimate intelligent
adapting
person.
to new information.
That's the definition.
Yeah, that's what I said. Adapting and overcoming.
I said adapting. He said no. It's not adapting.
I don't like the word adapting.
Said my original point was that a fucking intelligent person is someone who becomes to a new situation that they've never encountered and can adapt to it and overcome based on a collection of their previous things and formulating new concepts from the old and into the new.
And you just never said adapting, and I wanted to add that. I literally would define... No, you didn't. I waited till your whole thing was done, and then you didn't say it. And then I wanted to just...
Okay, here's what I would... First point was coming to a new situation.
Here's the easiest way.
I'm just saying, yes, you're right. You were defining adapting without saying the word. So I just wanted to like encompass your whole thing by saying I would call that adaptation.
Got a compass. Listen, the best way for an intelligence showdown... No showdown. But this would be a perfect way to figure out how if someone was like, if you talk to this person, you gave them this, and how they talked about it, you'd be like, this guy's pretty fucking smart. This guy's intelligent. Is if you talk about religion and science, and you can see the good in both of them because they are both good. You can take it to the extent of
maybe
like
not
all
even
the way.
that, just their logic behind their disagreements. So not the fact that you don't have to disagree. No, not the fact that they blindly, like someone who is extremely opinionated and was refusal to see the other side. That's not intelligence because you're literally just using your own confirmations to further your own argument without reacting ever. Like you choose to not listen to the other side's argument.
No, you have to listen to both sides.
That's what I'm saying. So that person is non-intelligent because if you're having a conversation with someone about religious or whatever you said, religion or politics or whatever, and their religion or science, and their opinion is based literally only on one side, and they refuse to see any evidence.
Those people are fucking morons.
Exactly.
Like you heard it here first.
But even your problem with your definition of intelligence is still in a bit of a narcissistic form.
What's the definition of intelligence?
Like Google?
Let's see. Yeah, let's see what it says.
You got a phone?
He's the stats guy.
No, I'll be the stats guy. I'll have the fucking laptop running.
Like, what do you think is...
What do you think...
What would you rather... Okay, if you had a kid, what would you rather them be? Have, like, 85% in school? And be kind of, like, normal?
Acquire and apply knowledge and skills. Exactly what I said.
Yeah, but you went to university.
That was so fucked up. I think that's literally what you said word for word.
I guess I was talking
So
about intelligence
literally,
more as a verb.
what I
an
said.
action word.
We were
But
fully
you were
guessing.
taking it. You were still taking it in a very kind of narcissistic form of it, because you were like, the way I look at it is if someone who I can have an argument with, and if they don't get bamboozled by me,
If I'm choosing friends or I'm choosing people to be in my life,
Manipulation. He's
Yeah.
like, listen.
If I'm
I
choosing
can
people that
easily
are in my
manipulate
life,
you,
then
you're
I'll
I
do
can
stupid.
that.
manipulate you too into thinking that intelligence is manipulating.
If I
I'm
can-
intelligent
if
and
I
you
can
too.
if I can manipulate you into
We should have
believing,
just been filming this.
You know what it is? It's not about tricking people, but it's about seeing how much you can trick them before they catch on. Because to me, we don't live in an
That's
intellectual.
not intelligence.
to
That's
me,
sales.
right now he's making fun of his whole logic while trying to logify it, like logistify it. You know, like, he's trying to win his argument while making fun of his own argument. Like he's trying to manipulate you while he's defining it.
I will.
If I can manipulate these two idiots into thinking that manipulation is intelligence, then I am the most
Manipulation
intelligent.
is very
Then I am
intelligent.
the most intelligent.
Manipulation
Yo, if you let me
is very
finish that
intelligent.
quote, that would have been the sickest quote ever.
Manipulation is very
Technically,
intelligent.
on the definition, the Google's definition of intelligence, you're not wrong, because intelligence doesn't connect to morality or any of those such natures. It's a matter of applying skills.
And if your skill is manipulation to get what
Like
you
if you
need
need
to
to,
happen,
if you need to fucking, if it comes to a point where, you know, even fucking.
It's
That's why
fight
the
or
billionaires-
intelligence
that's
is
why
fight or flight.
A lot of
Intelligence is
that's
fight or
why
flight.
A lot
Yeah.
of
Serve number one.
A lot of businessmen who are sociopathic are intelligent, and it's a matter of it's a dog eat dog world. And like, look at fucking the dude from Billionaires or Billions. He's an intelligent sociopath. He's an extremely intelligent
Because he came up
sociopath.
because he came up poor.
Not even coming up poor. It's his ability to like he can make. He's
Like, you
made $1
serve
billion
every
in
situation
one
to
day
serve
because
yourself?
he's literally like that fucking crazy. Have you seen Billions at all?
no. But is what your argument is that it's a form of intelligence because you, like, as a cell or as a being, as of matter, you want yourself to survive. So
Yeah,
you
if you
will do
break it down-
everything to
well,
put
that's-
yourself to the
If
very
you at
top
the
of
end
that
at the
ladder.
end of the day, that's what everything.
Because
That could be it.
what
That could
we
be it.
what we
What
argue
you're
for
saying-
was adaptability.
What you're saying
and
is
as a
like
gene, you are adapting to the fact that you need to stay alive. So it goes to his argument because that's going to put you at the top of all food chains.
It's true.
yeah,
that
but
puts
what,
you at the
yeah,
top
what,
of
survival
what you're
of the
saying
fittest.
is how
He just
what you're saying is how like
manipulated us to me and argue for his side.
no, because he is right in a sense. Like it's obviously
He didn't
it's
know why
wrong.
he was right,
It's
though.
wrong.
I knew I'm right.
It's wrong to manipulate people, but the ability to manipulate people when you come to look at fucking Hitler, he was intelligent, and all
Yeah,
he did
he's a
was he
fucking. You
manipulated
can't say
an
that
entire
guys like that
nation.
aren't intelligent.
He was extremely intelligent. Like it takes intelligence to fucking rise to the top and do what he did.
Yeah,
Look
but
at
then
Trump.
what if at the other side, like, what is the argument for, like, he did all
problem
that?
in our
he
society-
did all that.
The
But
problem
he-
in our society is that you have the free will and you have intelligent, like people who can see that I can take advantage of this person because I'm smarter than them. They're just fucking they're
That's
using
exactly
their
right.
intelligence for evil.
But this
Yeah,
is
that's
but
what
this
I'm
is the
saying.
other
I
side.
agree.
This is the other side of that argument.
listen
But
to-
also an even higher intelligent person, and this would be more like more of a spiritual intellect, would be I can manipulate this person to get this money from him to feed my family, but then he won't be able to feed his family.
So I'll
So
get
he'll
half.
be in the same situation as me.
But
so
yeah,
I
so-
shouldn't rip this guy off because that's even worse.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
should just go
So
find
that
some
is
other
science
way.
versus religion right there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
morality versus
the moral intellect will serve both parties
Yeah,
because
there's
that
two
is the
different-
the good.
Yeah.
moral
But-
intellect is
But
the
the
ultimate.
actual
scientific
gene,
intellect-
the scientific intellect, says,
that's
"Fuck
and which
that
is
guy."
which
Moral.
comes down to ego and spirit, your
Yeah.
soul and your ego. Your ego is your physical image, what you put out to people, Instagram,
your status.
and your soul is what like your siblings, your close family see, and what you are when you're alone, like how you think and what you do when you're alone. That's who you actually are.
Yeah.
What it comes down to is when it comes to the ego and the spirituality, it's the ego and using manipulation for the wrong is when you're just thinking about yourself and getting yourself to the head.
Exactly. That's a scientific. Science is the ego.
But
Ego
if
is
you,
scientific.
if you do it for others, then that's the ultimate greatest thing and form of intelligence you can do, because when you help others, you're going to help yourself. It's just going to
100%.
be natural. So you're actually creating more good and doing more with your intelligence than just doing it for yourself.
And then there's also 2 points to
then
that
you
argument.
multiply intelligence, because instead of you helping you, that's one. But if you're kind to people,
but there's
and they
two-
all want to serve you as well, and
all
all those people want to serve you as well as you want to serve you, because you're kind,
there's two
that
types.
That will push you to the top by
There's
itself.
2 types. There's what he's saying, where it's by doing good, good will come to you, or you can, like, if you
It's
worry
not even
about
just doing
other
that.
people, like if you can also like help, like, make yourself better and get people to make you better, but in turn you have a bigger plan that's going to also bring them up, but you're getting up there too.
But at the end of the day,
Exactly, because the more, like,
It's
you're
like-
saying,
Right,
it's a
but if-
circle of positivity
if you
instead of
take-
what it currently is now. Is sometimes you give positive and get negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, negative, negative. The fact that they're gonna be 2.
Even-
If he's saying every situation will then become positive, because you genuinely are helping
Yes,
them, and then they're gonna want to genuinely
actions
help
have an
you,
effect.
and then everything will just lift.
yes, actions have an effect. But if you even take out all of what could be the repercussions of those actions, and you just look at it from straight morality and intelligence, like you said earlier, when it comes down to, like, I always bring my thinking back to primitive state of, like, a mind. Like, if you took out society right now and brought humans back 2,000 years ago, how can you relate concepts from today, from
Like
back
learning
then?
trading and things like that.
Not even just anything, just
But
surviving.
there's fucking lions and tigers running around everywhere.
No, but I'm just saying.
How should I treat this guy? Well, we're probably gonna die
I'm
tomorrow
just saying,
anyways.
at the end of the day, when it comes to intelligence is just fucking living each, like, not even living each day, but, like, that comes with it. You're just surviving. It all comes down to survival, and the most ultimate form of survival would
that's
be
the
to
thing.
survive as a group, not just an individual.
But
So
that's
when
only
you-
as a species,
so, like-
though. You're talking about only as a species. What about, like, a dog? Why would I do that for a dog then? Why am I nice to a dog? So then you have to take it back another level to all living being.
No, that's not. That's because you
All
choose.
heartbeat.
Because you choose.
you're
choose to
making
have
it
it.
really
You
philosophical.
choose.
I'm
You
just
choose.
saying-
But you choose.
I know, but you're just saying,
Listen,
all I'm saying
you
is that
choose to
true
have a dog.
intelligence-
You don't. You don't have
In the
you-
wild, you'll see them. Like, would you just kill every animal in the wild then?
No,
If
all
you-
I
If
was
you were living
getting
in the
at-
wild,
all
would
I
you
was-
kill every animal?
all
Like
I
a
was
rabbit?
getting at-
For what?
All I was getting at is that true
Just
intelligence.
because.
For what
True
purpose?
intelligence.
Because we're living in the wild, bro. Some things are gonna kill you and you need to eat.
Yeah, but you
No.
don't see a fucking deer and be like, "That thing could kill me."
I'm not talking about fucking.
You fucking
I'm not
let it
talking
be.
about other-
You live
Exactly.
harmoniously. That's like
I'm not
you.
talking-
That is what I'm
not-
talking
I'm not
about.
talking about other planets.
Interacting with other species because you want to treat them well too. Because he said you want to help
You didn't let me
yourself.
finish my point.
But what? Listen, is this the right argument? You want to help yourself because that helps you stay alive.
Yeah, but not fucking
if you,
chickens and
but if
fucking
you
cats.
can help everything around you that is like you survive, your genome will last longer because you can put it into every part of those. Like, you as a genome would be lasting longer if you all lasted together.
What the fuck is a genome?
Like, as a species. If
No.
you then think
What does
about,
that have to do with dogs?
because then what's after species?
No,
Dogs
man,
aren't
you're
the
taking
same.
You're
Like,
taking it way too far back. Like
Yeah,
you said I want to go primitive.
no, but I'm just talking
Yeah,
about
but
it.
not till like when we were fucking half fish, half human.
Yeah, like-
What about when we were in the ocean and half our body was on sand? Like, do we stay there or?
I'm talking about. We were trying to define the word intelligence.
I know.
And we were trying to talk about the highest ultimate form
This guy's
of
talking about me helping
intelligence.
dogs.
And the highest ultimate form of intelligence is what Jesus did, and that's fucking putting yourself below others and just doing what's best for everyone and using your skills to create the greatest strategy, the strategy that will create the greatest amount of good for everyone.
But
That's
who's
true
everyone is
intelligence.
what I'm taking it to.
Everyone around you.
People,
What's in
people,
everyone?
people,
not just
people.
plants. Obviously, you can water the fucking grass.
No,
It
but what
doesn't
I'm
take
saying.
intelligence to water grass.
But what I'm saying, you're saying if no, you're
And
saying
pet a fucking dog. I'm just saying the highest form of
What a
intelligence.
fucking retard.
is
What about the
fucking-
dogs? You can keep Teddy. Thomas and David said I have to kill Teddy. Give me that, you fucking idiot.
We should go turn the cameras on.
Yo, I had a solid argument formed, and then now I'm so confused. Bro, I was so deep in my side of that discussion. And now I don't know if that was even the right
I
thought.
think we should talk about something else now. It's really gotten crazy.
we started this by talking about if it's smart to manipulate people, and then we were talking about if cells want to keep themselves alive.
No, we never. It started off as fucking manipulation as a form of intelligence.
No, you're saying it
this is my.
intelligence,
This is
not
why.
a form.
But this is why
And we
were
started
saying.
arguing
This is
against
why I
it.
started this
We
argument.
were
This is
saying
why I
it's
started
bigger
this
than
argument. Okay, so you know how there's all these master manipulators, like Harvey Weinstein, Bernie Madoff, like Bundy, all these people that have done like these Hitler, these crazy evil things and united the world, really, but with
That's
evil.
what I'm saying. That they
Why
use their
can't
intelligence for wrong.
why can't exactly? But why can't you manipulate someone to manipulate the world into just being good?
Yeah, you could, and that. But
But
like,
why does no one do that?
That's what Jesus did, man. Jesus manipulated people into doing good.
Every single person he came in, that's what it is. Like, it's to
He was-
manipulate
he
every
was the
single
master
person
manipulator.
around you.
He didn't. The apostles did.
Yeah, but who do you think got the apostles to do
Wait,
what
no,
they
he
did?
also did,
manipulated those people
He
to
also
fucking
did.
spread
He
the
would
good
go.
word.
He would go up to sands
That
of like
sounds bad.
beaches.
Exactly. It sounds
No.
bad, but he did.
He manipulated
Yeah,
into good.
but
No,
for
I
good.
think it's more influence.
But for good.
Well, how can
Yeah,
you use your
influence.
influence?
Influence is better. Jesus didn't really
Yeah,
manipulate people.
manipulate's an ugly word.
Hitler
Manipulate's an ugly word,
was
but it means the same thing
fantastic
as
at
influence.
giving off his influence, like pushing his influence, and you would follow his influence. It's whoever could use their influence. Like Jesus was giving off his influence. He would be like, "Listen, all these people are hungry. I will turn with this water to wine and feed them because that is what is good."
But it was even
And
bigger
that
than
was, and people would listen to that and be influenced by
Well, if he
him.
was really good, he would turn the wine into water because water's a lot better.
I know that. I always thought that was fucking stupid.
See,
You wanna know
it's
what's
interesting
fucked
because
up?
I bet you
The life expectancy back then when Jesus was alive was like 38 years old.
Yeah, obviously, because people were shit. They didn't have.
But you know what's
fucking-
weird? So
I
I
what
never
is
really
that?
think
So
about like
what
that
is-
as in,
but
as
but
in,
think
like,
about it
reality.
like this. So what does that mean for like when you're 8 years old? If you look at it, you'd be really
Yeah.
16.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's fucked up. Maybe
No,
that's
you'd
why.
be like- you'd be
maybe
even
that's
less
why.
than that.
That's why- that's
Maybe,
why-
maybe that's why
That's
priests
why-
and shit.
No, you'd be
That's why-
18.
That's
You'd
why
be like
he became a
18.
fucking carpenter at 12.
But maybe that's why priests and shit would always get with kids because really back in the day that actually wasn't that. Like if you think about it, if
It's only 4 years.
well,
like, if
yeah,
you-
like a priest would be like 30, like because at 38 you'd be like if by 35 you'd be in like your
70s or 60s.
yeah, like you can't do anything years. So like 29, 28 you're a priest. That's probably why it's continued and that's how it probably
No, but you're
started.
still touching someone who's tiny and like undeveloped. At some
But
point,
it's not, but
gets
it's
to the
but
point
on
where
the
it's that
but
thing
on
is,
the
like,
spectrum
undeveloped.
on the weird and on the spectrum, it's not.
It's not as weird back then, 100%, but it's still super fucking
No,
weird.
it is weird, but it's
Because
not.
it gets weird to a point when they're undeveloped. Now you're touching like a child. When there is
But
something
even
of that
but-
teenage
but
that
a
is developed,
14-year-old
your
14
human mind is
but a
supposed to like
a
tits and shit
14-year-old
like that.
back then would have been like a 30-year-old now.
No. See, the problem with that, you're talking for mental development.
But the mental development would be far greater too, because at 4
The
years
problem
old
with
you
that-
would
no,
already
the
be
problem-
like a you would at 4 years old you'd already be working.
See, the problem with
Like if
that.
you were a slave,
Yeah,
you're
but
already
what I'm
No, the
saying-
problem with that is that then, like, from your argument, like, then, no, the problem is that fucking
No, that's
where
not-
that obsession comes from is fucking a very hard
I'm not saying about the
subject
obsession.
to.
I'm
no,
just
but it's
saying
a hard,
about where it could it where like why it originated. You you're taking
You know
it
what I've
like
noticed
you're
about this
taking it
guy's
so like
generation?
you take it like
You know
so
what I've noticed-
into like
What
another
I've noticed
direction.
about this guy's generation is that the fucking whoever's doing it, the mass medias, the social medias, the fucking
Medias, the
the
medias.
big political powers, the people who are in charge of how information is brought to us.
the guy who tells the president what to do.
No, just the fucking how information is brought to
The
us is
Bilderberg
controlled by a small group of people at the end of the
That
day.
tell the president what to do and say.
That's not.
Because
See, that's
You're
doing
it
You're
right
so
now.
stupid. You can't even like. All I've noticed about your generation is that you've been. Just the way you question things is so stupid. You
Yeah,
won't
it is.
actually be able to divulge things.
Yeah.
And your
You
generation
need the solution right
is
away.
gonna say so stuck because they think they've solved the Rubik's cube and they're not even holding it yet. That's your idiocracy. That
You guys would be
Yeah, but
stuck
this
on a
is all the
two-way
generation
street, not
making
know
the
which way to
most-
go.
Increasing money and
exactly.
things
You
like
guys
that.
think you're doing.
No, I'm saying, you're saying stop thinking so stupidly.
No.
You
didn't say that at all. You know what you're doing? You take something that someone says, like you take one little thing, like someone says hockey player, and you're like, yeah, but Sidney Crosby can chop down a tree. So does that mean that we should all have dogs and pet trees?
That's what I'm saying. Like your generation is so lost, man. Like you guys.
Like I was making a very good thing to say.
It's screens. You guys spend so much time on screens is that you think you can solve problems like you're in a software where where the problem that's gonna come has a solution because it's in that software. It's supposed to go a certain way, but life's not like that.
Yeah, like what happens if you run over a hooker with your butt? What are you guys gonna do? Wait, what? I'm serious. I bet you and your friends, if that happened, someone would take a picture and be like, rough night. Hashtag.
No fucking
And then
way.
you don't be arrested. You go, how did this happen?
No, there's no fucking way that my friend group somebody would take a picture with the hooker and be like, hashtag funny night. No fucking
Okay,
chance.
I didn't say funny night. I said rough night.
Either way, there's no fucking way. You're saying as a mass generalization of our whole fucking generation.
What would you do in
I'm
that
saying
situation?
We would be like, holy fuck, like we need to
No,
call
I
the
know you would
ambulance.
say holy fuck. What would you do?
You'd either call the ambulance or like hide or something.
She was.
Wait.
Let's just pretend this didn't happen.
Leave the car there with their wallets, their cell phones, and
Let's
everything
just
with the
leave.
hooker under the tire, and they all just go around the fucking tree.
Door get out. Showtime, can you see anything? Where's Teddy? Scooby-Doo.
Wait, I didn't mean I would hit and run a hooker.
So what would you do in that situation?
Okay, well, I will. Okay, wait. If I'm putting myself in that situation, okay, I'm definitely not hitting. Wait, am I though? Like, if I run over someone on the street, like
No,
a
a
pedestrian. No, like if I run over a pedestrian, like what I would actually do.
But you drive away, and if there's witnesses, you burn that fucking car.
Oh, I'm trying to find it within me if that's right or not. If that's okay to do.
Is that right?
No.
Like on a societal standpoint, if that opinion is right or
On
not.
an anything standpoint, it's not right to hit a hooker or any pedestrian and drive away.
I know, it's like, can you live with yourself for the guilt, or would you be happy going to prison knowing?
That's what I'm saying. Like, cause I'm going to prison if I hit a fucking hooker on the street. I have to go to trial now to hopefully win that court case, and say I was a fucking full accident and they fell into the street.
Even your reaction to this problem is just proving that point in the generation.
It's just a hooker. That's what you guys would say.
No, I would genuinely fucking like.
I'm just saying,
Do you guys want to risk us going to jail if they prove that we did this on purpose?
Either way, you're
Why are you
going for
talking about?
manslaughter.
Why are you turning into a mass murderer now? Like, why did you do it on purpose? I'm saying if you just hit someone and you were like,
Yeah, and what happens? What happens if you call? What's the right thing to do? Okay, here, he knows. What's the right thing to do in that situation?
Call
then?
911.
Okay, and then 911 says, "How did you hit this person?" You're now a suspect.
Say you hit them.
Okay,
You admit it.
now there's going to be a
To be
like,
quite
an
honest with you,
investigation.
to be quite honest with you, with the court systems, like a lot of people, again, with the media and a lot of stuff that they put on the media is like some guy cuts 3 heads off a guy, he only gets 10 years. But like that's one thing. But they're not showing like the thousands of others that were like there was good results. Like if you have no offenses and you weren't drinking and you weren't stoned or anything like that, and you just literally like in the middle of nowhere and you fucking someone walked in the road and you fucking hit them. If you called the cops and 911 and you told them exactly what happened and be like, I hit them, they walked in front of the road, that's what happened. And you told them, if you might not even get jail time if you're a first offender.
might not.
It'd be
That's still potential jail time though. Like it's may not.
But you call right away. You calling, having no priors, like you have no rap sheet, you have no parking tickets. You're just a normal like you just be a normal guy, good guy. You have a job and all that crap. Like it's just like
You're literally
you made a
saying that the
mistake.
cops just go by how much they just believe in you. Like, they believe
The
you.
cops have nothing to do with it. That's the other thing that people think. Like, if a cop shoots someone, yeah, they're part of the trial now. If you're the arresting officer, you have nothing to do with anything. Like, you give a statement to the police. Like, when you, like, that's why they say what you can and will be held against you, right? So, if you get arrested and you're belligerent or you start swearing or you start doing stupid shit, like, that gets all documented. If you like, I did it. I did it. I need to talk to a lawyer, obviously. They're going to take you to the station, hold you overnight. You'll probably, like, you'll talk to
one
them.
more smoke in them.
Yeah, you'll have to pay for a lawyer. Like, there's still risks in that. Like, no, that's what I'm talking about.
Yourselves now?
No,
Like,
listen,
your
I'm just-
generation is stupid.
Like,
How?
the
I'm doing
judicial
the right thing.
system,
All
the
I said
judicial
was that
system
Kieran's-
may punish you for telling the truth.
They will
and you have
punish
to
you.
weigh
you
that.
You still hit someone.
Pass me a letter. All I said
No,
was
it's
that
not.
Kieran's
You shouldn't be.
generation
Do you
is
believe
fucked,
that now
and
from
you
an
guys are in an
ethical?
argument now about hitting.
Okay, but I'm saying, and from an ethical standpoint now, is it wrong to have to pay for any trial at all because this person just walked in? Like, I'm saying, is it right or wrong to hit someone? Like, should you feel guilt if you accidentally hit someone from
You
an
can have smoke after
directly
that.
ethical standpoint?
After that smoke, let's go inside.
What? It's
I don't
chilly.
want to sit inside. I thought we were gonna film some of this shit
He's recording all this.
right now.
Yeah,
we're doing. This is like a.
it's been like 45 minutes.
What, that thing?
Yeah,
Oh, I figured.
Listen.
I think this was
We're gonna have
fantastic.
First of
This
all,
was a
you-
fantastic episode.
First of all, you don't even need a lawyer. If you plead guilty, you go to a hearing, which is your sentencing, which is like you go and the judge says these are the charges that are laid against you. And if it's like I fucking hit this person, so you're getting charged with if you killed them, you're getting charged with vehicle manslaughter. But it yeah, let's chill out here. And you say
It's
like
fucking cold though.
get a hat.
No, I need to get a jacket.
Buddy, listen, all your heat escaped from your head. If you wear a hat, you'll be warm.
You guys are retarded, man. All I said is that Kieran's generation is doomed from the way information's presented to them. Obviously, not every kid in their generation is retarded.
Well, no, it's like
For the
this.
most part.
It's like the thing that I was saying, like how you play hockey, and he went into like, well, what if you're McDavid? So like, what if you're 1 in a million? That's how they think.
No, I know.
That's really how they think because they get 8 place ribbons. So they think they're that one in every one of them thinks they're the 1 in a million, but they don't understand that someone has to be part of the million for you to be the one of, and they all think they're the one of.
Yeah,
But they're not.
Yeah, it's not only that. It's just fucking just the way they do things.
Yeah. That's what it is, eh, Kieran?
What?
Your generation is more like, you know, like you're like 1 in a million. Like when the people say that, like
How you're so different?
yeah, like
how everyone's so different.
but like the
special.
like a success, as in like Sidney Crosby's 1 in a million, or McDavid's 1 in a million. Like he's that good. Your generation, you guys all think you're not the one, but you guys don't understand that some of you have to be the million to make you the one, and you guys all think you're the one because you get 8 plates ribbons.
No, but the point.
No, that's it.
The point of you're supposed to think you're the one. That's the point.
No, you're not.
That's
No, the
No,
point to success
you're not.
is
You're not supposed to
fully
think
believe you're the one.
You're
Those
supposed
are the
to
most
think
successful people.
you're
are
supposed
the ones who fully believe they're the one.
You're
to the
supposed
fullest
to
extent.
think you're part of the million and make yourself number one. Make you a number one, not you're already a number one. How are you a number one in this point in your life for any of your buddies?
No, yeah, 100%. I don't think. That's what I was just taking you to the obvious next level. Nobody think like I think I will work as hard to be number one, but I'm not saying like I'm the best. I'm not like you're saying. Oh, the number one is the most narcissistic.
I
we're
haven't said the
saying
word
that-
narcissist in
No.
fucking like 25 minutes.
What I'm saying is that the elite group that controls the world is getting a lot better at tricking everyone with social media and films.
And everything.
That came out of left field.
All I'm saying is that, well, I guess fucking all generations are influenced to think a certain way.
But you want to know what the problem is with my generation? Everybody thinks that we still kind of have our parents' mentality where it's like by 30 you're supposed to kind of be
Are you guys smoke one?
thinking about it.
Hold on.
You have to have kids and shit and get married. But we're not where
Yeah,
our
like
parents were at.
that mentality was because of World War II.
Yeah, but our generation shouldn't think like that. Our generation should think about getting yourself successfully set up or have a good job and maybe a property, and at 40 start looking down.
See, the reason for the
You think- so you're saying
for
that
the baby boom?
Like in the old ages, the oldest people were having kids. Like your parents were usually old.
No, our parents were like our parents, my dad had and my mom had their house at like 25 and had me when they were like 29 or 30. But that's pretty standard. But like they all had careers. Like back then, like most people at that age had career, a house, and were married. People get married now between like 30 and 40.
I thought they'd get married younger now.
No, some people do, but not most people get married like around 30 or older. Back then, people were getting married in their early 20s, mid 20s. You were like, or had a fiance, or you were with the person that you were going to marry.
So you're having dual income at that point automatically.
Not
And you should
necessarily.
be more
Women also
successful?
didn't work as much. They were more home bodies. But
No, because you need more money.
no, you didn't,
Well, then
because it was different back then. Like back then, man, it wasn't like now where like you have all these options. Like back then, it was like you see a chick at a dance and you fucking that was your wife.
The reason for that, man, the reason for that was fucking World War II, man.
Not our parents.
100%.
But why were parents older?
What most people don't really fucking take into account is that World War II is literally what shaped the way the world is today.
Do you want it?
Because after World War II, about a third of the population, like before World War II, man, there was wars everywhere, thousands of years, but not on the scale where fucking everyone was getting involved and the whole world was watching as everyone was fighting. Like the whole world, all the countries,
Sure.
all the major countries were involved. Like imagine that.
Like that's when women
Like, imagine
started.
right
That's when
now
women
if like
started
Canada
working.
was in war. Like
That's when women
every
started
news
But
working.
you can't even fathom that, and people just don't even really think about.
No,
how, like,
but I'm thinking like as if they live streamed the war. I don't think that happens.
no, they
Oh
didn't.
my
See,
God.
that's how. This is what
You're
I'm
an
saying, your
idiot.
generation
There
is
wasn't
so fucking
internet and
stupid,
TV.
man.
That's
People
what
didn't
I'm
even
saying.
have TVs. They listened on the radio. You know that movie?
Why would you listen,
know,
though?
listen,
Obviously, it wasn't.
Why
the Hunger
would you
Games,
listen?
You fucking idiot.
Because why would you listen? Because you want to know that in case the fucking Japanese or the Germans come over and you fucking board up your house in case they come and Nazi you.
And it was broadcasted, man. Every single news radio station, everyone
Like
was talking
in case
about
there's
the war,
a pair of fucking plane in the sky that's gonna skydive down and fucking kill your family. Like listen in. Like you always have to be paying attention.
Why do you have the
Yeah.
news now? Like, are you
The
stupid?
news is to inform you on the news.
Why do you think when you're listening to the radio
But nobody
or TV,
listens to the news now. Some people wouldn't even
everyone
really know
listens
for a
to the
little
news
while.
now. Everyone's on social
But
media.
even
There's
the
news
tangent
everywhere.
you're going on right now is how stupid your generation is, man. Like we're talking about how the war shaped things.
Yeah.
And you're jumping in on how people
How they
listen to
listen
the
to it.
news.
What do you mean they were watching the war? Like they had binoculars?
What I'm saying is the reason there's so many fucking people in the world is because about a third of the population of the entire world was wiped out, and everyone, once it finally settled and battlefields were no longer actually fighting, everyone was just like, well, now what do we do? And ad agencies and information was just flooded to the public to just have a child, have a family, and forget about the war. And let's get back to business. Let's get back to where everything's are good. And literally everyone turned around and looked at the girl that they're sitting beside and fucking married them.
Well, you're the closest.
The only people who were in the fucking countries were those who were in a high level of university or too old to fight or were women. or young boys under 18. Everyone else was fucking fighting. Everyone.
That's when women started working, isn't it?
So like because everybody else was just disappeared, and the news was like, listen, like
Disappeared. They fucking got
They were
killed.
fighting
that's what I'm
war,
saying.
you
Yeah,
fucking
like,
idiot.
like in your life, like in your life, you'll
Going to Germany, see you You just
I know.
finished.
Bro, I'm just taking it as like a story perspective. Like I'm making a story out of this plot line.
Once upon a
It's
time,
not a
there
plot
was
line,
this
it's
guy
history,
named-
you fucking idiot.
Once upon a time, there was a guy named Hitler. He really liked Jews. So he left a trail of breadcrumbs. And we won the war at the end. You're fucking dumb. So I want to tell a war like it's, I need to figure it out for like it from a story point of view. That's how
No,
I
I'm
understand.
imagining like being an avatar in that situation and experiencing it.
Hitler's a big blue guy. Fuck the Jews.
No, not an avatar, you idiot! Like the movie, like an avatar. You know what an avatar is? Like a character.
Like Snapchat when
No,
you make your face.
idiot. An avatar is a character.
It's like a cartoon. I need to
Oh
see
my
more
God.
and history is a cartoon. Family Guy.
Like I'm just saying, put yourself in their shoes.
Why did you just say that? What are you talking about?
Whose shoes? Whose shoes?
People back then,
What people?
like the people that suffered through war, like what that must have experienced, what that experience must have been like.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
No, I can see what he's saying now, but just the way you went about
Like
it.
you're saying, imagine how much they were able to spread propaganda. Because think about how influenced those people could be. Because literally a third of the people they know just disappeared.
No,
Like,
they
holy
died
shit.
in war.
Died in the war.
I know, but the war's happening right now. So like, holy fuck! Like all the people you know are dead now. So like, and the news is like, hey, listen, like we need to repopulate. Like you need to marry someone now. Like and like that was what the message they were sending.
Yeah, and you know what happened? Fucking.
So my argument is not fuck.
There was yeah, I know, but just the way you presented it.
But David already said that.
I was just agreeing with a different. I was trying to put myself in that perspective.
I was
like,
trying to be the avatar.
like imagine like being a person in that time, like what you'd be very influenced. Now we're influenced by different things, and they're using different things to influence us. For
Hello?
them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even now, look what they're doing. Everyone's afraid of fucking Muslims. They're really pumping fucking terrorism and that kind of propaganda. And people, there's a fear mindset going on. And the scary thing is that what's going on in North America is what was going on in Germany in fucking the early 40s.
But North America
In the
is
early
claiming
30s.
that the Muslims, like, are like Al Qaeda and shit like
Exactly.
that.
Look, they're claiming that. Like, whether or not it's going on or not, we don't know all the true information. There's still this fear element that's getting pumped into people. That's the main underlying theme. Is the fear of those who don't know.
It's just like the
But what if
flat
they're
earth.
just
And that's
portraying
what
what's actually
Hitler
happening,
did.
and
That's
those
what
who don't.
Hitler did. He pumped fear into Germany of who we don't know, and that's how he got everyone to rally and fucking go Germany. And that's how everything started.
Nobody in
There's
the
this
U.S. is
fear
going.
mentality.
Like, there's not enough. Like, the population in the U.S., but based on that, is not going. Yeah, like let's kill them.
I'm not saying kill them. I'm saying
What are you
fear
talking
them.
about? Yeah.
Fear. You're saying he got convinced people to just fear the Jewish people.
To fear the unknown, to really fear.
Yeah,
who
he
you
did
don't know.
actually. Do you
That's
know
all
how?
he did.
He said that because they all run banks, they're manipulating you, they're stealing from you, they're fugazing you. And
Yeah.
he convinced everyone that, and then they all. But honestly,
But
You're
he's
the
saying,
outsider.
like,
That's all he
imagine
did.
right now if the government just started telling you that every Muslim was bad.
but they do
Like,
tell
would you
that.
believe that?
They
No,
do tell
they
you
don't.
that.
What if they're just portraying a Muslim's bad
They
action,
do
and
that.
so far they maybe sway
do that.
how many of those things get
But they
talked
do
about?
But at
that.
the end of the day,
100%. But
the
I'm saying,
theme
like,
there. The
So what are you
theme-
saying?
you're saying like genuinely the American government is saying like we want you to fucking hate every single Muslim person.
No, I didn't say that.
No one's saying that.
I
You're
didn't say that.
weird.
That's how you're interpreting it. I didn't say that. Check the record. I didn't say that.
Like you're saying that they're pumping propaganda for us to not like Muslims.
No, like they
Saying
pump
they're
propaganda
they're
for
just
anything.
They're pumping in
Propaganda.
the concept of fear. They want you to fear the outsiders, the unknown.
Based on like, how are they doing that?
Okay, listen. In a country, right? The country needs to make consumers so that the country is generating money all the time. If you put out things like this is going on in this part of the world, this, and this, and it's just all bullshit and all crap and war and all this shit, people are gonna stay in America and stay there and buy shit.
But sometimes the news talks about yourself being in war and your own country doing stupid things. That would encourage people to leave. Why would the news show that?
Why would they leave? Why would you leave to go somewhere else that's shit when you're already home, have your family, friends, everything here?
Because your country is shit. Like, you're
But
literally
America's
saying
not shit.
they show you the news to
But
show you
America's
how
not
shit
shit.
everything else is around America and how great it is in America. Why would the news ever say anything detrimental about America though? Like,
Because
oh,
the stuff
Trump
that-
said this
because
today,
I don't
fuck
even
Trump.
I don't think a lot of the statistics in America are even true.
Yeah.
Like when they say like they say like
really
a
ever
quarter they say
promote
like a
leaving
quarter of the
America.
population
They don't at all.
isn't working. Okay, but do you want to know what that statistic really could mean? Like a quarter of the population isn't working, but a quarter of the population could be under fucking 12 years old. So yeah, they're not working. Like a lot of statistics are very vague. Like 95% of fucking 90% of men like stare at women in a rude way. Well, yeah.
No, you guys are talking about two
What?
different things, man. You're talking about statistics. And you're talking about
I think he's also bringing himself back into these, like, shit. What did they talk to me about? I stare at them rudely. So yeah, 99% of people do that.
Yeah, but like that's what a
We gotta pick
statistic
different
is.
topic. We got lost our train of thought.
This guy's so out there.
The train of thought was just that I'm retarded. And you were explaining it thoroughly. And I was
It
trying
all
to
started
defend-
actually because
and I was trying to
I said
defend
how you
against
play
the argument.
hockey, how an athlete plays in a sport is, and then you went off about how Connor McDavid's an avatar.
No, but the beginning of that was where I was getting to.
You weren't.
But yeah,
He
you're
jokes
saying
around.
you're saying
saying-
that the genome, like, you'll find
Okay,
the skill you're
listen.
best
I'm not
at?
talking about cellular best.
No,
you
man,
keep
all he
bringing it
was
back to
talking
that.
about was like,
How you put out effort, because remember, we play men's league. So
See-
none of us are in the NHL. So how everyone plays in men's league and how they are, and you can look at it from any perspective. Like the guys that come to just drink beer, they're here on this planet to have a good time. They work and they come and they have a good time. And that's generally what type of people they
Most
are.
of those people are fucking depressed.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they.
all he's saying is that the way you emulate yourself on the ice
I
and
understand.
the game you play
It's like
is
how
a
your soul is.
representation of your character.
I believe there's parts of that, like aspects, but not as a whole generalization. Like
He's just
and
saying it's a
it has nothing to do with
representation of
soul.
your
Like
character.
he's
That
saying-
actually is the if you're an athlete, right? If you're playing even men's league, you're doing that as that's your time. You're choosing to pay to have this as recreational fun, which means that if you think that it's fun, that's like your soul. Your soul is what's fun. What you think is funny, that's your soul laughing. So what you think is funny and what you like doing, that's your soul. That's your inner you. And a lot of things people don't do because they're afraid of judgment. So like how you put yourself in a situation playing hockey, even if you don't have the talent, but how you work, like guys that aren't good, but they love hockey so much that they work the hardest. That's a representation of who you are as a person, because that's your soul speaking. That's your soul in the world. How I am on the ice is probably very mirrored to how I am in life. I'm like Sly, and I go for the big goal, the top shelf. Like I have big aspirations and big dreams. But a lot of times you miss the net. But when you get it, it's
Oh.
picturesque. So it's like, it's like one of those
So
things.
what's been picturesque?
Well, like I'm sober. I've got a lot of friends. I have money, car. I have a good job. Like all those things are things that.
all the
See, the
bad parts
interesting
of your
thing-
game are the fucking shit that are not
Like
part of
look,
those
I
parts?
went through a lot of misses to get big success. Like I have 5 years in October, no coke and no drinking. No one would ever have thought that. you could probably ask 100 people that were close to me. Bet you 95 of them would say, like,
You were that
you probably didn't.
No, I
think-
knew you would.
You were that fucked?
Well, I wasn't that fucked, but like I was pretty bad. But like,
That you were like an alcoholic. Like you just always had a drink in your hand.
no, I would always, when I would drink, I would drink.
Yeah, it's a matter of fucking binging and quantity. Like,
You don't have to drink every.
like
there's
being
people
able
that-
to outdrink any person who's in a room, I'd say you're an alcoholic.
and I could easily.
Like having that ability, like that means you're a consistent enough drinker that your liver can process that much fucking
And all the drugs that came
alcohol
with it,
quantity.
cigarettes, bad
Binging is a
food.
big part of alcoholism.
That's that's
Consistency and binging.
yeah.
That's what makes you an alcoholic.
But if you look at
Why
that,
is binging?
Because binging is doing it like when you do something in excess, it's when you necessarily, I'm not claiming this, I'll jump into a tangent, that you don't have control over it if you're doing it in excess.
yeah,
Because doing it at a moderate pace means you can control yourself to do it at a point where you've reached
it's like how you weigh
what,
your
what
food.
would be right or what would be good for you. Doing something in excess is when you're past the point of moderation and it's no longer really you're controlling it. You keep doing it to the point where it's could be bad. It's in excess. It's too much.
Like now it's just an addiction.
It's extra. And when you can't control something, that's what alcoholism is. Is when you can't control.
So you're saying if you
The
could
drink.
have 2 drinks a night and always stay
No, because
kind
I
of
said
sober.
what makes an alcoholism is someone who's consistent or who binges. If you moderately drink randomly once a week,
no,
once
that's
every
not.
2 weeks,
No, he's
you're not
right.
necessarily an
no.
alcoholic.
If you have 2, you could honestly come home. This
yeah,
is
if
the
you have 2 drinks every night though, but if you've never
no,
missed
no,
that,
you could.
That's-
If-
no, that's
no.
fucked up
Listen,
to have-
no,
like,
no,
for that to be normal.
listen. I went to rehab. Listen, you
I'm
cannot
just
be
saying
an
my opinion.
You cannot be an alcoholic and come home and have 4 beers, 5 beers every single day and not be an alcoholic.
No.
The
see, I
difference.
disagree.
No, the difference.
That's not for that to be normal in your life. That's
Do you have a
not
coffee
right.
every single day? Do you have a few coffees every single day at the same time?
Yeah, but it's
pretty
different
much?
because coffee
It's
doesn't
not.
have the
Beer
same
and
effect
Coffee
that
are
is
not
alcohol.
more
the
addicting.
same.
Caffeine is more addicting than alcohol.
It's addictive to what it does to your nervous system, but all it does is raise your blood rate. What alcohol does is kill brain cells. It changes impairment.
Not- but-
it
yeah,
makes
but
it changes your body.
I know, but
Alcohol just
Having
But
one
having-
coffee is
Coffee
not the
just
same as
speeds your
having
heart
one
rate,
beer
man.
for the human body.
There's many people that can have a few beers a night and aren't alcoholics. There's a lot more that goes to being an alcoholic. To claim, if you saying you're an alcoholic, it's not about like what you actually drink. There's people that can drink once a year that are an alcoholic.
no.
Yes.
No.
Okay, listen.
You can't
And
call
then
being
it-
once a
Listen,
year.
it's called being a dry drunk. Listen, and it's because in the back of your brain, the only thing that will be driving you for that entire year to exist is that one day.
Okay,
that's an alcoholic.
That's what I'm claiming. That's what I'm claiming is fucking that if it has a bigger control than you. So binging shows that you fucking can't control alcohol.
Basically, what
And
an alcoholic
consistency,
is
if you
is
drink
when
every day.
if-
Tell the person though who's drinking every day moderately 5 drinks. You're claiming they're not an alcoholic. Then that person, if they exist, has to not do that. And
Yeah.
Do it not if
And
they
there are
can achieve
people
that.
that
If they
do.
can just say no, I'm
there
not
are
drinking
people
this
that
week,
do that.
or I'm not doing
I
that.
know a lot of people that do that. They won't drink. It's called like the dry month, and there's a lot of people that do that. They don't drink for an entire month, and
But
they
then they'll drink again. But they're doing that month knowing
Okay,
that they can
whatever.
drink again. Those people are
okay, but there are people that can have 2 drinks, whatever. Okay, who even cares? At the end of the day, like if
That's
you're
what we were talking about.
Yeah,
Like-
but we're disagreeing.
well, no, because you were saying like an alcoholic is someone who drinks every day, but that's not
No,
necessarily
what I'm saying,
true. Well,
someone
that's
who
what he
drinks-
said.
All I was claiming for alcoholism is you don't have control, and what can define control is consistency or binging.
But
If
it's
you're drinking on a
but
consistent
that's not
basis,
true. It's not because it is, but it is the control, but it's that like it's why you're drinking, and
My argument
ultimately
was
it comes
just that
down to
like
control. If
you
you
were
can't
that
control
fucked,
it,
like
it's you have to take a step back and you look and like what's the variable that's making my life this upsetting, and usually it's the drinking and the drug use. So it's like if that's making you upset, then ultimately your weakness is that substance, so you can't
you have
have it.
control over it.
Yeah, you have no control over it, so it ends up controlling you.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's why it's like, it's not about like how often or how much or how little. And it's like I said, like there are people, it's called being a dry drunk. A lot of people in their first year of sobriety are like, it's all magical and happy because everything's fucking new and everyone's like patting you on the back. Like it's been 6 months, it's been 8 months. And, you know, and then in year 2, a lot of people relapse because it's been a year now. So it's kind of like, it's not new anymore. It's not like, oh, you're still sober. It's kind of like, well, that's your life choice. So deal with it. Like, so, and that's where a lot of people slip because they become dry drunks because they're just going through the motions of life. They're not drinking, but they're not happy. So you're just not drinking.
So you're saying they're not drinking, but they're
like
not
you're
happy,
better
so
off
they'll
almost.
drink
You're
one
better
day a year on purpose.
No, the 1 day a year is nothing to do with anything. I'm saying that a dry drunk is someone that, like, if you're just not drinking, like, say, even if you're a drug addict, you're not doing crack anymore, but you're miserable, and a piece of shit, you're just miserable, but you're not doing that substance. Okay, yes, you're not doing that substance, that's a good thing, but if you're just completely miserable, then what's the point? So it's either like you have to do it again and keep going to hit a higher bottom to like find that. And that's why they say it's a spiritual awakening, because it's kind of like you find a purpose or a reason to be like, I want to be happy, and you achieve, like you have a drive to achieve happiness. And that's really what an alcoholic is. It's when your life has gotten to a point where like your life is a complete disaster, or it's about to become a disaster, and the main ingredient is the drinking is getting you into a lot of trouble and it's fucking with you, and then you have like an epiphany and you're like, I should become a fucking artist, or I should become a teacher, and then your sobriety kind of drives you into doing something that you're actually passionate about.
Okay, but yeah, I just won't say anything.
Yeah.
Because you just think it's retarded.
Yeah.
See, I adapted. We're very adaptable.
I should eat, but it's late again, so it's like a double-edged sword. An intelligent person wouldn't eat.
Why?
Because ultimately it's worse for you to just eat a meal like this, takeout, before this late at night, rather than just not eat at all.
Yeah, if your body needs a bit of energy right now, then you could simply have some fruit and some greens, a little bit, or some nuts. That's all your body needs to get through the night.
But you're saying because you'll gain weight.
Nope, that's not what I said.
What is the negative? What is the negative of this?
Nothing. There's no real life or death negative. The ultimate negative is that you're making your stomach have to work while it's sleeping, so you're probably not going to get the best sleep.
No, there is an ultimate negative. Your body doesn't need a full meal right now because you're headed to bed.
Yeah.
Well, it has to make up for the nutrients I didn't provide earlier.
No,
in the
it
day.
doesn't, because
No,
you
it
just
doesn't.
do it tomorrow.
The body doesn't know if
Your
there's
body-
a tomorrow.
Your
There
body,
is,
you're
it
looking
does.
at it. See, the problem is that the way
Your brain
people,
knows it's tomorrow because it's going to wake
The
up.
problem is
What
is
if
that
it doesn't?
The
Then
problem
you're an
is
idiot.
the problem is that people look at fucking nutrition and food as fuel, and they really misinterpret, like when you're trying to eat healthy or fucking body build or whatever. Like for some reason, people have it in their mind that they fucking built the pyramids that day, and they need to pack themselves with certain fucking this and that. If you're hungry and you missed a meal and you're about to go to bed, your body just needs a little bit of some like nuts, or a little bit of nuts and fruit,
Or a glass of
and
water.
some veggies and a glass of water, and then what's pumped in with the nutrients that those fucking.
You know what I would say is a better overall workout plan, like gym plan overall, and this is like far out, would be like, don't look at going to the gym as like meal prep and getting into shape, but it's more like a lifestyle that you do over your entire life. Like recognizing when you're starting to get a little chub and go do like a normal routine workout, like not jumping into it and just keeping yourself at a manageable body type.
But what if you want to exceed that
100%.
body?
You can. You always can. And what I'm saying is that people need to stop looking at like, okay, here's a good example. Like people that take care of their cars, they can have a car that'll last like 30 years, and they put minimal work into it and just did normal upkeep and took care of it, right? Your body is like a car. So if you train yourself to like just like how to work out and muscle memory and like doing the right things for your body type every once in a while, like every 6 months, go to the gym for a couple months, and then you can maintain a physique.
Yeah, you got to do it more often than 6 months.
Well,
So
whatever.
You're saying for genuine general health,
Yeah.
how would you work out? And how would you
Very
train?
moderately, like in spurts, like go for 3 weeks and then take 2 months off.
No,
But
no,
2
you're
months,
saying-
but 2 months off is not saying you sit on the couch and do fuck all. It means like
Yeah, but
2
then you're
months
still
off. It
doing
means like
moderate health.
But
you
why?
can- you
Why
know,
is
go for
6
a
days
walk.
not better than that? For what reasoning?
I
Why
think
can't
it's
it
more
be better?
because I think it's more achievable and more manageable. I think a lot of people that go to the gym really set themselves up for failure.
What if they go to
And
the
then
gym because
that-
they genuinely enjoy the gym and not just to keep
Okay, but
themselves at a certain
it,
percent?
again, you're taking it to such a bias. Like, yeah, if you want to
But your
fucking go to
argument's
the
a bit
gym,
biased too, because that's what you personally feel about people who go to the gym.
Yeah, you're saying like, oh, you should just
from
do it
what
every
I've
couple
gathered
months.
from most people that I know
Yeah,
that
those
go to
people
the
have
gym
mental
to get into
illness.
shape, don't like doing it, but they have to do it because they're overweight. What I'm
Yeah,
saying
there
is,
is
if
those
you
people.
teach someone to not get to that point, that's why moderately, like, humans are very adaptable. Like, just the fact that I play hockey twice a week and I do construction, so I do a lot of walking, that's basically I've been able to keep this physique. So I'm saying, like, that's the bare minimum. But because I do that bare minimum, if I started working out, like just started going home and doing push-ups every day, I'll see results way faster than someone who just went to the gym full on for like 3 weeks. I would have better results, way better, and I'd be doing a lot less. And overall, I'm doing it more consistently but softly, that it was better for my body. Because
But-
although those bursts of going to the gym for people that are overweight, if you go to the gym and do these bursts to lose like 20 pounds and then you're like good, well, you didn't really fix the problem. You just made the problem a bit more manageable.
But that's what I'm saying. You're saying there are people that go to the gym just to fix a problem and then go back to the same problem. What if, like, when you go to the gym, you're not like, you've had a problem and then you solve the problem and you continue going out of personal enjoyment instead of trying to keep solving the problem?
Well, obviously, if you solve the problem, you wouldn't go back to the problem if it's solved.
You're saying, like, if you solve the problem of your weight, why do you need to keep working out? You can just do it every couple months.
But it's not solving the problem. It's called maintaining a physique.
And I'm saying, what?
I have a point. I think what we should try and do, and I might even have a guy who can do it, because you guys are fucking retarded sometimes. You just go off. We should do this in an animation. If you're gonna throw it on YouTube and do a podcast, like, people love that, but people like watching things too.
No, you do both. Like, you get someone to animate the best parts of the conversation, and you can post that as a second video.
Yeah, but
Like,
just
Joe Rogan has JRE tunes, where someone animates his conversations, and he also still posts the regular episodes.
Yeah, whatever, but I'm saying we should make a little animated series where, like, while we're talking, like how we've been talking about history in the past and some of the things, like how you want to pet a dog, like...
No,
we
like,
were
I'm talking about as
earlier
in a
about-
cartoon in the animation.
Shut up
I
for a
will
second.
literally draw my head
Shut
like
up
we
for
were
a
in a cartoon in the war.
Yeah, and how, like, when you were talking earlier about fucking whatever you said, like, about animals and being able to pet dogs, and we'll just do, like, an animation of you just, like, wink, wink, and just, like, looking at a dog and fucking petting it like a fucking retard. Yeah, like, that's what it'll be, like, in our heads it'll be, like, Avatar plus Hitler equals question mark. And in Kieran's head, it'll be a bubble of, like, what perfect makes sense. Like, Hitler as this avatar, like, jumping around.
This is where we should get Josh involved.
See, Josh
He's
could
got
do
the
the
whole
pictures, but
summer off. He's
you
got
know that Ryan Minraj, the kid who thought his girlfriend's got her wallet stolen by you? He went to school for animation. And he showed me an animation he worked on. Like, he could easily do this. It's Mickey Mouse animation, because it's fucking rough graphics.
And Josh can do the
You
drawing.
should have
Yeah.
YouTube videos then.
Huh?
You should have YouTube
He made a
videos
video
then.
game. Like, he did a fucking Super Mario animation. And, like, he's made his own video game.
So you'd be able to see that on YouTube. You would
I
have
don't know
it
if
as
he
a
has it.
portfolio.
I don't know if he has it on YouTube.
There's no way you're a graphic designer. You don't have a YouTube, bro. Like, it's your
See,
portfolio.
that again right there.
You know, like,
Not
I
every
would not
single
want-
graphic designer in North America has a YouTube
or some
channel.
kind of platform, a website, something.
But some
they're
people are
showing
just
their
so
work.
successful that they're successful enough that they don't need to go to YouTube.
He was working on a video game though, so like he wouldn't post that on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't. There's like legal obligations.
And not even that. Like, he was
if
just-
you're working on
I
a video
haven't
game, you don't
spoken
have
to him in,
time
like,
for
a year.
YouTube.
He might have a YouTube channel.
How do you get that? How do you get that video game job?
You go to graphic design.
See, that's also
You go to graphic
stupid
design
of a-
school, and then out of graphic design school, how do you market yourself to the company? Well,
don't,
with
you
things
go
you've
apply.
created. Yeah, and they're gonna ask you what? Show us how you graphic design. What do you have to show us? They're not just gonna like take your
Yeah, but
word
it
for
doesn't
it.
have to
Hey,
be
I went to
YouTube,
graphic
you
design.
fucking goof.
I know, but it's just saying
It's like
you'd
any other
have-
job.
Like,
you'd
yeah,
have-
he has portfolio. It's not necessarily on YouTube.
Yeah,
Go
but
get
I
a
meant-
job
I
as
just-
a
I was just
waiter,
saying
are they gonna
YouTube
say,
is an
show us
easy
your
platform,
videos
but
of
if you
you
have like a
waiting on
website
people?
or something to show off his.
He might not necessarily. He might just have a file drive, and they can hand that in the job interview.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be on YouTube.
Yeah, but
And
yeah,
he
I was
doesn't
just
only
saying-
get a
To be
job
honest
by
with
going
you,
to
if
school. How
I
does he get a
if I
job?
was
He goes to
hiring
graphic
someone
design
and they came into my office and said, and you said like,
I
what
went to
makes you
graphic
a good
design school, I
graphic
have a YouTube
designer?
channel.
And he's like, go to YouTube and click ball lick Derek cool guy MG69. Those are me. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
No,
and
but
I'd throw the computer at him.
well, no, but I'm talking
Count
about like
to
the. I'm talking about like the Joe Rogan. I'm talking about the Joe Rogan like guy who does his animations. How would he go to Joe Rogan and say, "I want you to pay
Pick up
me
a
to do your
phone, you
animations"?
fucking idiot.
And then what does he show him?
But
His
you
work.
honestly, like, you go from
Okay, his work.
Okay, but it
That's
doesn't
all I was
necessarily
saying.
have to be on YouTube.
No, I know. I was
brain
just
is
saying
like
from Joe
multiple-
Rogan's.
your
No, but that's
brain
what
is
I'm
like-
just saying. Like, your brain works in such like a specific retarded way. I think it really does have to do with social media and screen time. Because like his generation was the first. Like my generation was like I grew up till grade 7 or 8 without social media. So like I knew a world without social media. He didn't. People don't really take that into effect when they think about the younger generations and the way they think. Like
yeah, it's
they
just
really
there.
do broadcast things, and the way they approach subjects is like everyone's watching, but like not even just everyone's watching, but like everyone's expecting them to do a certain thing, and that's what they're gonna do.
Well, it's more so that they need the quick result, but they don't. It's like when you know what's funny is like when you, in the high school when your textbooks when they have the answers at the back, and it's like a lot of people. Well, from what I remember is like, why don't you just check the back of the book? And that's how a lot of people just did it. They would, but
See, when I was
getting
in high
to
school,
that,
when
you,
I was in
you
high
still
school,
have to get to that.
when I was in high school, I only used the back of the book when I was trumped, but I did the work first and then used the back of the book to check to make sure I was doing
Of course,
it right.
that's what you're supposed to do. But what I'm saying is that like their generation will just go right to the back of the book, whereas
Yeah.
you have to work it out though. It's like having a calculator. Like
I think my generation in general would, because like they're just fucking trying to get through
You
it and they
need
don't
quick-
give a
you need
shit.
quick-
But I don't
even-
think myself personally would.
well, the way you talk is like you're at like fucking 5 different statements from like 6 different conversations in one, and they're all outlandishly different.
Yeah, you guys do that, back of the book. That'd be a cool name for our show. Back of the book.
Correct. This is
Basement
where the
banter,
answers
back of
are.
the book.
This is where the answers are. That would be your
Where the
slogan
back-
underneath.
You don't- you
This
don't
is where the
say-
answers
you
are.
don't say that. You just put the back of the book.
Back of the book.
People, intelligent people.
Back of the book, bitch.
It's-
Anyone would know.
no man.
Back of the
just
book.
because he had to say that slogan.
No,
is like,
you're the back cover. The back of the book. The back of the book.
page 162 of 165 of the book. The
pro-
Wayne brothers.
Prologue.
No, like the back cover. It doesn't have the answers on it.
Can you put a subtext underneath in brackets? Not the cover, like where the answers are in the book.
That would be
before
so
the
funny.
index,
That
and
would be
after the
so
last
funny
page.
if that was like
For
a
the
joke.
millennials.
If that was a oh, okay, you fucking ruined it. Yeah, like a table.
We're sitting at it with computer chairs.
100%. Yeah, that's just kind of standard.
No,
Like you don't watch many podcasts and stuff, but that's like standard.
We gotta get rid of this shit.
Do you film podcasts
Yeah,
and air the filming?
yeah. Joe Rogan aired like YouTube. Like his YouTube videos is where he got the biggest, I think, because he took to that platform before anybody else did. The podcasting form of communication, like, imagine you guys like choke at me about that I watch live streams. That's like normal now. So like the person who started getting into that, no, like that's what I'm saying. Your generation doesn't understand that that's normal now. You don't even like, what the fuck is a podcast? Did you know that if you record yourself playing video games, people will donate money to you, saying, yes, I like watching you. Here's $10 today. That is a viable form of income now.
Yeah, I know.
You guys don't understand that,
I
really.
do understand.
Like, but that's what you chirp. But that's what you chirp the most. But now this generation is the most powerful, like easily to become powerful. There's way more millionaires now.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and the guys who have billions are still
There's getting more people who have billions. Every generation will have more. You don't think there'll be more billionaires in 20 years than there are now?
But do you
Yeah,
understand?
obviously.
No, but
rich
and
people are
look
still
at that.
gonna
We're
grow
getting
up.
smarter. You're chirping us.
No, you're
We're
not.
finding new
You're
ways to
wrong.
make
You're
incomes.
getting more manipulative.
Fine,
And the other
fine,
thing
but
is,
that
too,
makes us survive.
What you guys
Don't chirp the
understand-
generation
no,
then.
What you guys don't understand is that you're making the vast amounts of money, right? But the currency is changing. As in, like, okay, if you just watch movies from the 80s. If there's like a bank movie, they're robbing $1 million, and these guys are talking about retiring and living like kings for the rest of their life. Now they're robbing like hundreds of millions in the bank robber movies. So when people are making like, there's millionaires, but $1 million is not what it used to be. $1 million is fuck all.
Someone who makes $1 million, someone who's a millionaire means they are worth $1 million. Someone who was worth $1 million in this today, I don't care what you're talking about, is a rich person. That's rich.
No.
Do you know how hard it is to have $1 million just sitting
Of course it's
worth
hard,
of what
but
you
that
are?
doesn't make
Yeah,
you
but just
rich.
because your generation can make millions doesn't mean you guys are smart.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What is the point?
What are you doing with those millions?
You're talking about success. Like
I
your
didn't
guys.
say anything about
Yeah,
success.
no one said that word.
All I said, your generation is pretty stupid. All of them are. My generation is stupid. Every generation.
You're saying like
every
talking about our
obviously-
generation as if it's more flawed than the last one, but then he's like, no, they're all fucked. But then he just started talking shit about mine again. Like, so what's wrong with your
I'm
generation?
saying my generation is stupid. We're a mix of like finding true love and being an independent rock star.
It was something about like having a child earlier.
Yeah, like my generation is kind of like everyone still kind of has that gut feeling that you need to be married and be very traditional, kind of like our parents were and our grandparents were, but at the same time, like the world that we live in now.
Have you seen the what's his name's one?
Jordan Peterson?
No, Russell Brand.
No.
That one was sick.
Russell Brand?
Have you seen the Tom DeLonge one, dude?
No.
It's funny. Tom DeLonge can't speak.
Do they smoke weed?
They do everything. Elon Musk smoked a blunt with him and they're drinking whiskey.
Yo, you know how much stock he lost in that? Like by doing that? Like Tesla?
Should we watch
Is he
the
still the
Tesla one?
CEO? No, I just watched it.
I'd be down to watch some of this dark web stuff that you talk about.
Russell Brand.
Yo,
Russell Brand.
let's watch Unfriended Dark Web. It's such a sick movie and it's short. It's like 85 minutes.
Yeah, I want to watch some
It's sick.
dark web.
It's fucking sick. But if we're gonna watch it, let's watch it upstairs.
No.
Alright, let's watch it down here.
What sucks about the whole thing is that we are millennials too.
Yeah, I know. We're thrown into that category, but we're like the cusp of like not being.
You guys are barely even in the same generation.
We're not. It's 84 and up, and I'm 89.
Yeah.
You're 93.
They collectively make generations like 10, 15 years at a time, 20
I'd
years
say
at a time.
2000.
That's a generation.
Exactly.
No, you know what?
Like
You're-
each generation
you're-
is a generation.
So we'll all be
obviously.
put in the same basket in
No.
history.
No. To be honest with you, your generation, like you Showtime Gryffindor, like your friends that
Waffle.
were on your hockey team are retarded, but like you guys are still. I would say a millennial is like, what year were you born?
98.
I'd say a millennial is literally like, yeah, you are a millennial. Like that's
Like I grew up with like electronics,
yeah. You're the cusp. Like you're the star.
but you didn't get it till I think the first iPhone came out when I think the first person I ever saw had an iPhone was a kid in grade 8 had an iPhone 3.
Yeah, so you're around iPhones then. Like
Yeah.
Once
Like we were
iPhone-
kids for iPhones.
yeah.
Like we were
Yeah,
like
that's when
13,
you
we were like
understand
14.
that's when you understand what they are.
Yeah.
So I'd say a millennial, like he's a 93, like He's not. He's still old school. But like I'd say 96 is probably like that's the millennial. That's the real millennial. Like people that are 96 are like from the old ways, but they're like the youngest. Like they'd probably be like the youngest in a family of like siblings. But there'd be a different an
But
age
they'd
gap.
have older ones.
Yeah, but there'd be an age. But they would be like a big age gap.
And
So,
then the
like,
new
they're,
kids now are like the next parent, like their those kids.
The new kids now actually like the kids that are growing up right now that are like 1, 2, 3,
Or like
4.
your age's kids, like a little bit older than
kids
you
that
kids.
Kids that right now that are between like newborn and 5 years old, those kids will actually probably do a lot of good because parents are starting to realize now, like more so how you have to raise a kid and like I find that they're gonna understand how to use technology a lot better because they're like literally newborn. There's a screen, there's the way to get information.
But what if it gets like even worse and they just like get stuck to it and they literally become
They will get stuck to it, but that's parenting. That has nothing to do with an individual. That's parenting. That's not the community. That's not media. That's nothing. That's the parenting. As a parent, you taking the responsibility to having a child is you have to provide the basic morals and the basic.
But what if
becoming
the society
It doesn't matter.
influences every other child in school has a phone. You're not going to give your child a phone? That's unsafe now. You're the odd one out now.
No, this is why your generation's stupid. Is you're sold on that it's unsafe.
Yeah.
Fear.
You could give a kid a phone, but that doesn't mean
Everything
anything for my
now,
argument.
security.
But if your kid's the only
Who's
kid
knocking on your door?
Not on his phone. Like they say, as a parent, I'm giving you this phone for emergencies, and if you want screen time, you get an hour a night or whatever, and that's your thing. And if they understand that, and when they're at school and every kid is on their phone, and they know I'm not allowed to use my phone for that, and they don't, that's good parenting. If kids have their phones,
But this generation is getting even harder to do that because the kid
yes,
at
it
school
will
is
be
so...
hard. But
Exactly.
This is why your generation
being a
is
good parent is a
sucks.
hard job.
And
So if you want to be a
it's
good
just gonna
parent,
happen.
you have to.
Well, it's not
do
just your
things-
generation. I'm not trying to
It's
attack
everyone.
you. It's everyone in this day and age. What sucks is that I even heard it on the radio the other day. Some broad was talking about, what did she say? She was okay with the government spying on her and reading her text messages because she's like, oh, I got nothing to hide, so I don't care. If it's going to make everyone else safe, then I don't mind it.
That's an intelligent way, but it's also kind of stupid.
But the problem is that it's that mentality that's gonna. People are gonna think like, pretty soon there's gonna be chips in the children, like all newborns, so that when they go to the hospital for whatever reason, it's sold to like in an emergency. They just scan and all their medical history comes up and their blood type and everything, so that doctors can fucking work on them right away. And it's gonna get sold to the public that we need this to survive. And then you're gonna lose your you lose your sense of
Soul.
individuality
You
and
lose your soul.
everything because you're just become a product of the state.
Yeah.
Should I get rice and potatoes or fries?
Thank you for listening to episode 2 of the Kieran Company podcast. If you enjoyed the show, you can support us by clicking subscribe on the podcast app and giving us a rating. If you're listening on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe for more.